The Jeep Gladiator 4xe has been unplugged. So last year, spring of 2024, then Jeep CEO Antonio Filosa, who's now the CEO of all of Stellantis, confirmed that the brand was working on a plug-in hybrid version of the Gladiator pickup. At the time, this seemed like a no-brainer. From the bed forward, the Gladiator and the Wrangler are basically the same vehicle, so this seemed like an easy product to come out with. And a timely one, because back then the Wrangler 4xe was a big seller. In fact, for a while it was the best-selling plug-in hybrid in the United States, in part because it qualified for the federal electric vehicle purchase tax credit. There were also a lot of state EV credits to consider, and the California emissions rules, which several other states follow. In fact, Jeep started stocking its dealers in those states with the Wrangler 4xe. If you want a regular model with a V6 or turbocharged 4-cylinder, you had to order it special. But then things started to change. First, it became pretty clear that electric pickup trucks weren't as popular as the industry had hoped they were going to be. The Rivian R1T, the Tesla Cybertruck, the Ford F-150 Lightning, and GM's trucks that started rolling out were not in as much demand as they'd hoped. And then, of course, in November, Donald Trump was elected president, which led to this year's passage of the so-called Big Beautiful Bill, which canceled the federal electric car tax credit. It's going to sunset on September 30th, even though it was originally planned to go all the way until 2032. That really shook up the electric car business in the United States, particularly on the truck side, and the dominoes started to fall. Ford, which had already cut back its production plans for the F-150 Lightning, delayed its next generation pickup to 2028. It was originally supposed to be on sale this year. And while General Motors didn't cancel any electric trucks, it did cancel plans to build a second electric truck factory where it's going to be building new internal combustion engine pickups instead. And that brings us back to Stellantis, which just recently ended development of the Ram 1500 Rev all-electric pickup, and instead is going to be building what was supposed to be called the Ram 1500 Ramcharger Series Hybrid pickup, but will now be called the Ram 1500 Rev instead. Now that's completely different from the Wrangler 4xe. Instead of what's traditionally called a hybrid, it's known as an extended range electric vehicle, has a battery pack, electric motors to drive the wheels, and carries a V6 engine that works as a generator but isn't connected to the wheels. That electrified truck is still in the works and slated to go on sale early next year, but now Jeep has announced it's canceled the Gladiator 4xe completely. In a statement issued to American Cars and Racing, Jeep said, as customers' propulsion preferences for battery electric trucks continue to evolve, Stellantis is reassessing its product strategy and will no longer include an electrified Gladiator variant in the Jeep lineup. The Jeep brand has already begun reinvesting funding to ensure the long-term growth of the Jeep Gladiator and will introduce even more customer-requested factory features, customization, and additional powertrain options in the near future. Now, the bit about powertrain options is interesting. The Gladiator used to be available with a diesel engine that was discontinued a couple of years ago, but right now it's only available with 285 horsepower V6. Now, while Jeep hasn't officially confirmed any of the new powertrains that might be coming to the Gladiator, its new CEO, Bob Broderdorf, has been pretty clear that we can expect to see more Hemi V8s in the Jeep lineup. And we'd say the Gladiator seems like a perfect candidate for that. Now, Jeep also sells a Grand Cherokee 4xe and hasn't said anything about discontinuing that. And it recently released a teaser image of the upcoming redesigned 2026 Grand Wagoneer that clearly showed it was a 4xe model. You can see the charge port on the front fender. In fact, Jeep is far from done with electrification overall. A couple of weeks ago, we were at the unveiling of the new 2026 Cherokee, which is only going to be offered as a hybrid, not a plug-in hybrid, just a regular hybrid, when it goes on sale in a couple of months. The electric vehicle news has been coming fast and furiously lately as all the automakers shuffle their lineups to meet the new market conditions, and things are probably going to change a lot more after that federal tax credit goes away and we find out really how much people want to buy electric cars without all that money on the hood. So don't forget to check out American Cars and Racing every day for the latest electric car and Jeep news.